All right, hello everyone. Team Survival here, live from a Steak and Shake yet again. It's tradition. We just got back from the Tinley Park Regional, and Leo, what'd you do over there?
We won a Win-A-Mat.
Yeah, we did. There it is. Dark Magician, of course. Team Survival here. Not the biggest fan of these Shizu cards, so we're just kind of playing our own thing. But Leo, do you want to give us kind of a rundown of how the day went? What'd you play?
Yeah, so this is Invoked branded Bystial with a minor fenrir and kind of Despia package. There's a lot of tier going on. Plunders, Runic, Sprite, a good mix of decks. All the games were crazy competitive. I would say that the best player I played was probably the Plunder player. But yeah, it was a fun day. Shout out to actually Juan, the cameraman. I couldn't have played this event if he didn't lend me the Bahamut's. The Magnumut's, because mine didn't come in time, even though I ordered them like 3 weeks ago. So, thank you, cameraman.
Yeah, no problem. TCG player, step it up.
This deck's actually really crazy and gets a lot better when Grand Gignol comes out and like all the new cards.
Yeah.
Invoked is, in my opinion, going to be the better version. Right now, it's still really good. I would put on the same power scale as any normal Despia branded version because the field spell is literally branded lost. So nothing crazy here. I play 3 and 3, and then what I do that's different than any other Invoked player is I'm gonna play one Invocation. Drawing it's not that great. If it gets milled, it is what it is. But like, honestly, this gets smashed all the time, and it's easy to recycle. And you only need the one. It's kind of awkward sometimes when you're like they get rid of your Alistair, and you're like forced to try and resolve this still. But a lot of times I have Fallen Alba already in hand, and I end up getting into like a Mirror Jade or doing some weird stuff with it. But yeah, this is all you need. If you want to play more of a Despia version, you can still play this. I would actually cut this down to 1. This is what's more important than this. This is branded lost. They can't respond to your fusion summonings, so it's honestly really important. And it's why I like to play this version. Plus, this is guaranteed follow-up because you're going to go for a Gaieties. And what a lot of people forget about Gaieties, it's Destruction Fight. It's not the best, but it has the ability to banish cards from the graveyard to bump its attack up. So it easily can get in for over 5,000 attack all the time, which is really nice for pushing for game and in time rules. Next up, I play 2, Mass Change 2. This is really good with the Invoked package. Yeah. Now, depending on what your hand is, sometimes it can be underwhelming because you're forced to go into Caliga with Darklaw. But you know that you're guaranteed for follow-up on the next turn, using that Caliga to get into a Gaieties. But honestly, it's kind of like Mystic Mine in a sense, because you have your Darklaw, which is a Floodgate and is crazy good. Allowing this to dodge targeting effect negation is kind of nuts. And it works in the same manner as Super Poly. So like you either play Super Poly or you play this kind of. And so this is just a really good meta call. I found that 3 was too bricky. It's just too often. This is definitely the correct ratio. Later on, I might play 3, but for right now, with the current version, 2 was correct.
And you are playing a 40-card deck.
40-card deck.
Yeah.
I put this down to 1 and 1. I was playing 2 and 1, but I wanted to make sure that I had not only my 7 live Bystials, because these technically aren't hand traps, but I also wanted to have access to these bells for protection against Bystials, which are really prevalent and can hurt this deck. So I cut this down to 1 and 1. This is just really good. This ability to actually get a card into the graveyard sometimes can actually be really relevant for the Bystials. God, all these cards are so beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just having another, really good normal summon, a way to get into your branded plays, while also being able to still do normal summon Alistair stuff is kind of crazy. And this discard effect, it is actually relevant. Sometimes it's just a spell also to grab, if for whatever reason you were milled on your branded fusions. Albion can still grab this, and then you have a discard fodder for a spell negate with Makaba. So it's just, it's just 1 and 1. It's all you really need. So you still, it's like you're still playing like Despia. You're just playing an invoked version of Despia, and they could technically kind of do the same thing with Alistair in a way. They can definitely use invocation as if it was polymerization, because it is polymerization. Lubellion, honestly, a really, really good card. This deck's resource game has gotten a lot better. I mean, I'm sure you guys know combo. If you have this in hand and Branded Fusion, discard this at Saranir, Branded Fusion, send Fallen of Albaz, and this guy, go Albion, banishing Fallen of Albaz, and then you get out your Mirror Jade, and so you get your plays going that way, and then there's 2 of these in the graveyard, so Saranir, banish 1, and then the other one in the grave, you're the Saranir to summon this out in defense position. Saranir sends rebranded, and then you go ahead and use this effect to put your branded beast, and face you get rebranded back. Now you can also, with just Branded Fusion, access this card and go ahead and use your Albion and your Lubellion. As long as you have a card to discard, as long as you have a card to discard, what you can end up doing is summoning out Lubellion with Albion, and then going ahead and using this to make Mirror Jade, so that you have this on the field to use Lubellion to summon out. So it tributes this. Lubellion comes out in defense position. You still get your Branded Beast. End phase, you're going to get this effect as well. I just chose not to play Exile right now. And I didn't want to play any of those other cards, so I just ended up grabbing another Branded Fusion. So that's a really, really cool opening, and why this card's unbelievably good with Branded Fusion, because it's just more. One card became not just Mirror Jade, it became multiple interruptions and resource management. So it's just really, really good. Absolutely mandatory. This is my light card to send as well with Branded Fusion, almost always. If you don't have these in, then it's going to be your brain. It would be your Dogmatica package.
And I remember when your targets used to be like Effect Veiler and Incredible Ecclesia with this version of the deck.
Yeah, much more
so
economical.
Lubellion is a blessing. It's a godsend.
One Saranir. I am actually thinking about. I'll do this. One Saranir, 3 of the Druid's Worm, 3 of the Magnamut. I think Druid's Worm is clearly the best. This is really nice, but I actually don't think I would want to play 3. I think I want to play 2 Saranir for the chance of opening it, because I find that the sending of Rebranded, with the opening that we were just talking about, is kind of really important, and I think Rebranded is absolutely fucking insane for the deck. I almost want to play 2 in 1 beast. Just the reviving, the drawing. When you Invocation, you get to draw from there. You spin back the Magistus when you do that play, so you get a free draw. It's just so good, and it keeps recurring for the deck. So Rebranded is just so nice.
And for the people who don't follow the OCG too much, Rebranded is, of course, Branded Regained right here.
Yeah. Sorry.
No,
I just
you're
know
fine.
it by its original name.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, so these 2 are absolutely nuts. So I actually really think about playing 2 Saranir and cutting Magnamut down to 2. But hands down, Druid's Worm is so good. It put in so much work. This card is honestly nuts. I think this is better between the 2. But a lot of people really love the Magnamut for the search. So just don't forget end phase to do the search, because it happens. Why are you zooming in?
No reason. It's just a Plunder player saw that happen in 4K.
Now we have 2 Ghost Spell. We talked about these earlier. It's really good protection. It's good against Tyr. It's good against Sprite. Again, don't forget that against Toad, if it tries to negate a monster effect, pop this bad boy down. And you can actually negate the Toad's negation effect with this. So, pretty crazy.
Yeah. And also great against the Bystials themselves.
Yes, I did say protection. It's protection specifically against Bystials against you. Especially because when you target a card with Bystial and then they chain Bystial, that sucks. Alright, free Fenrir. It's just so free. This replaced DPE, because you don't need to play the bricks and it's on the same power scale. It does have the draw effect, but like we have so much better card advantage these days that you don't need the DP draw. Back last format, I thought the DPE draw was honestly really relevant, but with the Bystials now being out since then, it absolutely cucks DPE, so it just kind of doesn't work. DPE is just not good right now. But yeah, Fenrir, search Fenrir, it baits imperms. The ability to banish cards face down, it's really good against removing Rakalos. It's just a really, really powerful card that I think everyone should be playing 3 as long as you can afford to play special summoning monsters in your main deck. Branded Fusion, the card needs to be banned. I mean, come on, it's coming eventually. It's the best fusion card ever printed. Let's be real. It's like Shaddoll Fusion was like jacked up with fucking steroids. That's collector rare, by the way. Let's
that was ulti rare.
Oh, you're right. It's ultimate rare. Excuse me. Yeah, that's a bad boy right there. This card's honestly really good. One thing I will say, if you want to play Super Poly, which is still a really powerful card, especially when people like to end on 2 water monsters in the tier board, specifically a Beast Dweller, this is really good with Super Poly, because you summon this, they try to respond with something, whether it be tier or not. I'm just saying Super Poly is good against tier still, but whether you're playing anything, whether it be like some type of board break deck, being able to summon this, discard, they try to stop this, then you slam Super Poly on top of it, forcing it through. It's just a really cool way to like force things through. So if you want to play Super Poly in the deck, there's direct synergy there. It's also nice that it's a Dark Monster, and you don't need 3, just play 2. Then 3 Nadir Servant, 1 Ecclesia, 1 Fleur-de-Lis, 1 Punishment, and then the Schism, because I find that the Window Lock is it's just, you can put out so many disgusting boards. So if you win the die roll with this deck, 8 times out of 10 you should be winning that first game. Honestly, like if you opened up really bad, it is what it is, or they just happen to have exactly what they needed to crack you, or they're main decking evenly matched. Yeah, you might lose, but like there's just so many combinations of cards with this fishbowl style deck that's playing like really good synergized archetypes together that all these packages are just so free. I find the punishment's actually really fucking good for this deck. You can literally end with Schism making Winda, Punishment, rebranded, Beast with Mirror Jade, Fenrir, Makaba, and then Lubellion for the branded Beast with Bystials in hand and engraved. You only lose to evenly matched, and obviously Nadir Servants just puts in so much work. And it's the only reason why I'm playing I'd play this Schism. You could definitely cut this if you wanted to. If you want to just play this and make sure you rely on the Titanic Lad for this package, totally fine. I just think that this card's way too powerful. Window is something that they have to immediately address. Otherwise, they're going to lose the duel. So if they don't open Dark Ruler, they don't open Evenly, they don't open Imperm, they're going to lose. So that's why I really like this card. Plus, it does pop into the Dark Monster, and if you want to play 2 Windows, you can do it again if you wanted to. You could also play, if you want to play Shaddoll's Construct, but not for this version. It's not for me. That's it for the main deck. I really don't know if I would change anything. The only cards that are like really a call that you have to think about if you want to play this deck are these. This could easily become 3 Super Poly. It could be 3 of this. It could be 3 Imperm. It could be 3 Triple Tactics. It could be, honestly, like a lot of different cards. It could be 3 Prosperities. I just think that this is a really good meta call because, again, it helps you dodge having your Alistair stopped, and Dark Law can just outright win versus Tyr. I did lose a match today against Tyr because he literally draw phase Book of Eclipsed my board, which was like good for him. Like he was prepared. Like I can't believe, because yeah, it's crazy. He was able to dodge the Schism and put my Dark Law face down, which was unbelievable. But yeah, we'll go into the main deck next.
Extra deck.
Sorry, extra deck next. Artemis, you don't need to play Maximus. Don't be fucking stupid. Do not play Maximus.
Newly opened, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for the rarity upgrade. This is just to get Makaba. You don't need to play anything else. Don't fucking play Secure Garna and the Almirage. Stop it. 2 Albion, 1 Lubellion, 2 Mirror Jade. Don't be stupid. Beast, don't be silly. Protect that Willy. Play 2 Mirror Jade, okay? 1 Titanic Lad. Again, you know, you with the Schism, you don't use this a lot less now. But you can definitely do boards where you get Fleur-de-Lis with this, and so prior you search for the Punishment with the Ecclesia, and that's still really relevant. Plus, sometimes this being able to summon and being unaffected by monsters for a turn is relevant. So it's here. It's not the best card. It was a lot better last format. After that, 1 Makaba, 1 Agades, and 1 Caliga. Caliga's honestly worth playing. You can cut it. If you're playing this version, I think it's mandatory. It's honestly like Mystic Mine kind of. Each player can only use one monster effect per turn. So you put that out with Dark Law, and they're both floodgates. So you have Alistair in hand. You can decide if they search to make them lose a random card in their hand with Dark Law, and you're floodgating them out. Plus, you're probably going to have other stuff depending on what you drew. Yeah. So he's honorary. Dark Law's honorary. Basic package for the Schism. Obviously, if you don't know what it does, App Cologne, get the Schism, but you have to discard a card, then banish this and a Dark Monster from a graveyard or on the field. Don't forget that, which also works with Druid's Worm, and the Druid's Worm will send a monster on the field, and then you get a pop of a Dark Monster with Schism.
Oh, but you're banishing the Druid's Worm.
Oh, you're right. You're banishing the Druid's Worm.
Yep. So Druid's Worm can't do that. It has to go to the graveyard.
But still, you can use a monster on the field.
Yep.
But it does have synergy, with Branded Regained, which then can get you a draw and shuffle back.
Yeah.
One NTS and then one Garura. This is just here for the... didn't want to send this. I didn't want to send this. I wanted to grab a draw. That's literally all that's here for. It's just a free flex spot. Definitely don't need to play it. It does come up. I'm not kidding you. It actually is relevant. And it's definitely worth playing for the Near Servant's End. 3 Evenly Matched. 3 Lightning Storm. 3 Dark Ruler. 3 Draw. And then 3, there can only be 1. I am really not interested in losing to Flu. Evenly Matched is okay against Flu, obviously because they banish face up, and a lot of people don't know that. And then they can recur them by triggering their effects if they get a normal summon, but also with Toucan.
Could you explain that? Flu versus Evenly Matched?
Because of the text of the Flu cards, they banish face up instead of face down. And so Evenly Matched does not make... they can actually recur the cards that get banished by chaining their effects if they normal something the next turn, or for whatever reason they're able to do it that turn, or they can grab them with Toucan. So let me go over why I played the side deck the way that I did. So, these 12 are really... these 15 are really good versus Flu. One card I want to highlight is there can only be one. It's literally a 1-card kill versus that deck. They have literally no way to out this besides Cosmic Cyclone or Harpy's Feather Duster, if they're even playing Harpy's Feather Duster, or the Cyclones. They might be playing only Lightning Storms. The thing about this card is that even if you go second and you put this in and you flip it over, it is evenly matched. So the card is just absolutely nuts. Lightning Storm is super powerful against them. Dark Ruler is super powerful against them. Droll is super good against them. It can, if you're lucky and they don't draw too crazy, not only does it obviously keep them from going and getting the Wind Barrier and keeping them from using the Emben Search and all that other stuff, you can just completely lock them out if they need to go for the Eagle and Search. So it's really, really good. Again, Eagle Edge is still really strong, especially if you're trying to make sure that you get rid of the Dimensional Fissure. They're not going to choose to keep that, so it is another way of just playing Cosmic Cyclone in a way, and it's great against every other deck, especially this deck. I wanted to not lose out to Sprite because I cut the Lava Golems, which if you don't play Lava Golems, you can totally do that in this deck with all the ways that the plays can get started. You do not need your normal summon. The deck is not just normal summon Alistair, that is now a meme. It's always been a meme, but it's actually just memeing. That's just cope. You do not need a normal summon Alistair to win the game. But I wanted 6 cards for Sprite. This is really good. This is really good. But they also are great against Flunder, and the main deck is already really good against Tier. Yeah, there was some drama today. I'll bring it up. I was the feature match on table 1 for round 1, and we only played 1 game. A judge intervened without actually understanding what was going on because he saw I had a counter on my fenrir because I removed a Dragostepele from the field, which had stopped his search effect earlier. He interrupted our game when we had less than a minute left without extending any time and said that I could not use Fenrir's effect. But I had removed Dragostepele from the field, therefore he was no longer having effects negated, and I went to banish what was it?
I don't remember.
It was
was it Garura?
No. It was, what's her name? Beatrice?
Yeah, Beatrice.
And he interrupted me and said that I couldn't do it. And actually, Juan protested, saying, "Hey, he used that effect to search earlier," and the judge was like, "No, he can't do that," without actually checking to see what was happening in the game state. And I was like, okay.
The ref misunderstood me. He thought I was saying that. Hey, he was actually trying to use his search. He wasn't trying to banish face down. The ref, I think that's what the ref thought I was trying to say, and the ref said no. He used his effect to banish face down, whereas I was telling him, hey. When Dragos Stapelia chained on to Fenrir, it was over Fenrir's effect to search.
And those are separate effects. Yeah. And once Dragos Stapelia was off the field, he was no longer affected by that, and it was a legal play.
Yep.
I ended up losing because I had the ability to still win from that point on, but I lost out on the literal 30 seconds, or however much time that was, to get into the battle phase, because the tier player was slow playing. And all I needed to do is I had Albion, I had a Bystial in hand to summon, and I could have gone to Gaides, banish Mirror Jade in graveyard, gain 2,000 attack points, swing in, do enough damage for game. I literally had lethal on board, and because he didn't extend the time from that point on, I ended up losing because of it. And there was a crowd and so much going on that I didn't immediately protest what was happening because the judge just said that I made a legal play, and everyone's they were talking. I was like, oh, okay, I guess so. I guess I lose then. I can't play. This was the feature match. It was just an absolute shit show. And the judge, after the match, apologized. The head judge apologized, said, sorry, at this point there's nothing I can do now because we're proceeding in the second round. Instead of amending it in some way or doing anything, they just said, sorry.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. But enough about that. We won this beautiful mat. And the deck is honestly really, really good, and it deserves a little respect on its name.
Yeah, I think there would have been a really nicer result here if you had a little bit more practice with these cards in your hand. Only so much you can do.
Oh, I haven't played this deck in real life. Only online before today.
Online. Yeah.
So it was almost weird because it felt like I was playing a foreign deck, even though I knew the combo so well online. Having the physical cards and going through the motions in person and remembering to use graveyard effects at the end phase, because I wasn't doing it in real life and only online because I work till 12 at night every single night. That I'm a chef, so I have any free time. My days off are normal weekdays, and so actually getting to play and do that in real life, it was so weird today playing with the physical cards. I felt like I didn't even know my own deck that I was playing, even though I knew all the combo lines and I know the deck so well.
Yeah. So people, get out there, play with the cards in your hands. Yeah.
Go to locals if you can.
Go to locals, play with your friends. That was great. You got anything else left here? I thought it was a good performance overall, but of course that round one definitely throws the vibes off. But
no, just shout out to Juan, David, Ryan, Sagar, John, Team Survival, our friends that were there, Ava, and her other friend. Ava also won a mat.
Beating me.
Yeah, it was just a really, as you said earlier, a really dramatic day.
It was so dramatic.
There was an ambulance call. People's cards were stolen. It was crazy.
Yeah, really, really crazy day. That's what you could expect out of Chicago suburb. All right. Well, I think that's Team Survival signing out. Thank you so much, Leo, for the deck profile. Signing out.